No, but then there's also an issue of cultural appropriation. There's an issue of taking something that's very distinctly Asian in its identity and quote unquote making it better, which I have an issue with. But I want to hear the pitch before I formulate an opinion. And
oh boy, that's one way to start.
Looks like we're having yet another conversation about cultural appropriation after a somewhat heated viral moment took place on a TV show known as Dragon's Den. Some entrepreneurs came to pitch their business, which I guess is a new version of boba/bubble tea, and one of the investors was not having it and called them out for cultural appropriation. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Yes, we're gonna be talking about cultural appropriation after this super viral moment took place on the TV show Dragon's Den. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this show, it's a lot like Shark Tank. You can come on as an entrepreneur to pitch your business to some high net worth investors. You get a few minutes to let them know how your business is doing, what you're selling, and they respond as to whether or not they want to invest or become a partner in your business. And today, we're gonna be looking at this boba tea company that has created a whole bunch of controversy and a somewhat combative moment on the TV show itself. Let's watch.
Hello, Dragon.
Whoa.
My name is Jessica.
And my name is Sebastian.
We are here today from Quebec City seeking $1 million in exchange of 18% of our business, Boba.
Boba.
Dragon, you have probably heard about bubble tea.
Yes.
I've never, has anyone else heard of bubble tea?
Yes, I've heard.
What is bubble tea?
Simu was drinking bubble tea this morning.
I've never.
I have a feeling Simu's already a little bit triggered by seeing this company. I can sort of feel the tension in his energy. If you guys don't know who he is, Simu is an actor. He's appeared in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's also been in Barbie as well as many other projects. And he also happens to be an investor. I believe he has his own sort of venture business where he goes and finds entrepreneurs and their businesses and he partners with them. And he's not vibing with this one so far. But let's keep watching. I'm gonna let him talk.
I've never heard of this thing
Yes,
before
I'm
in my
talking
life.
about bubble tea, that trendy sugary drink you are queued up for and you are never quite sure about its content.
Those days are over with boba.
Hang on. I'm quite sure about its content, but,
Yes?
but continue.
Okay. We have transformed this beloved beverage into a convenient and healthier, ready-to-drink experience. Since day one, we are disturbing this $4 billion market with 3 simple ingredients: high-quality tea, fruit juice, and our famous boba. Last year, we just launched 2 crazy innovations, including the first alcoholic ready-to-drink bubble tea in the world. But also our grab-and-go popping boba.
So, Dragon, are you now ready to drink our product?
Yeah.
Okay, they are ready to drink their product. Now, I can notice a few things that they've said already that might rub a leftist the wrong way as a former leftist myself. First of all, they said you're never quite sure of the contents of the boba that you're drinking when you go out and maybe get it at a boba shop or you get other companies' boba, and that made him upset. He said,
I'm quite sure about its content.
of boba. And I think really what we're getting at here is that these individuals don't have English as their first language. That's something I've noticed almost immediately, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But when they say that, when you go to a boba shop, which I've done many times in my life, Asian boba shops, non-Asian boba shops, and you get the drink, there's not exactly a robust piece of information about the nutritional content, how much sugar's in it. You kind of just go, you pick your flavor, you let them know how much sugar you want, and then you get this drink. There's a lot of people out there drinking boba who are not quite sure of the contents. And I think what they're trying to communicate is that they're making it clear in their branding and in their packaging what's in their drink. They also said they're disturbing the market of boba, which is going to make Simu upset. And this is where I noticed the English is not quite so great. I think they meant to say disrupting the market, which, by the way, is the goal of every single entrepreneur that launches a business ever. So far, they haven't said anything that crazy.
Boba comes in various flavors like watermelon, dragon fruit, and peach. It retails for about $3.99 at major grocers in Canada, the US, and Europe.
Do you get the popping bobas, though?
The boba's popping.
Raspberry and lime. Not bad.
This is the popping boba. We sell it in convenience store to add to any drinks.
This is my first time having bubble tea.
You're missing out in life, man.
I've never seen it like in this. I've seen it in...
People have tried to bottle it up. It's very difficult to maintain the flavor.
Did you like this?
I thought it was fine, but I, you know, I'm concerned about this idea of disrupting or disturbing bubble tea because it's something that's very
There
near.
can be new takes on things.
Sure,
Nothing-
but I'm looking at
not
I'm
everything has
looking
to
at
be
these two guys.
traditional.
No, but then there's also an issue of cultural appropriation. There's an issue of taking something that's very distinctly Asian in its identity and quote unquote making it better, which I have an issue with.
Why do you have an issue with somebody utilizing something from a culture and making it better? First of all, making something better is subjective. There are going to be people who like this version of bubble/boba tea, and there are going to be people who don't. And intermixed within those people is going to be Asians, non-Asians and the like. And I'm sure there's going to be many in the Asian community that disagree with Simu and say it's perfectly fine for them to create a company in this way, and that it in fact is not cultural appropriation. It's an appreciation of something that a culture created. And how many of our products in any given store on any given day are from a separate culture, created by somebody else of another culture, and there's absolutely no credit whatsoever given to the culture in which the product originated? Do we have to go through every single thing that we're utilizing, every single food that we're eating, and make sure we're giving proper and due credits to the culture in which it originated? In my opinion, no. And that's why this has created so much controversy, because there's a lot of people who agree with Simu, and there's a lot of people who agree with the entrepreneurs in this case. But let's keep going.
But I want to hear the pitch before I formulate an opinion. And
Oh boy,
so
that's one way to start.
Yeah, that's one way to start. A little heavy there. But okay.
But it's not an ethnical product anymore, not with the popping bobas. So we took the version, the Asian version, and we made it with fruit, with juice.
The popping boba is new. I can't say I've had that. It definitely is an experience when you're having it.
Now, I've certainly seen popping boba before. It is literally all over the place. You can get it at boba shops. You can get it on top of your frozen yogurt, and many people call it different things. They're called popping pearls or caviar, or all these different things. As culture is digested by other people, it sort of filters through our society. People come up with new names. People create different iterations of it, as it seems these two entrepreneurs have done. There's nothing wrong with that. And I do take issue with this idea that anything is owned by a particular culture. Yes, your culture may have created it, but after its creation, after it is shared with other people, it is no longer something that belongs to you. But hey, that's just me. Let's keep watching.
Holy smokes.
So you're building a brand, and this is, I'll see if I can articulate this, but the name Boba, the industry is Boba, is it not? Is that a good thing, being called Boba, or a bad thing?
Well, they added a B.
So right now we're rebranding, we're working with lawyer and everything, but at the end of the day, maybe we're gonna need to add a little word after the boba.
Clearly you're doing very well. What respect is being paid to this very Asian drink that has blown up around the world? And is it in your teas? Is it in your product development? Who is on your staff? Who is on your cap table that is providing that for you?
It's a good question, because our best partner is in Taiwan, actually.
And, you know, they're trying to go back and forth with this guy to answer his questions, to sort of circumvent this issue that he seems to have with cultural appropriation and this idea that there needs to be somebody Asian, I guess, working on this in some regard, or credit needs to be given. And where I want to push back on them is they don't have to substantiate what sort of Asian influence they have in their business. All they have to say is, we saw an idea, we created a product, people like that product, they're buying this product to the tune of millions of dollars, we're here to pitch it to you. If you're not interested, you let us know. If you are, give us the investment. They shouldn't have to prove that some Taiwanese person somewhere has given them their blessing to create this product. And even if they didn't, they also don't have to credit where the product is from. Again, I'll ask the question, how many times do you see people do that in the products that you buy every day, in the chairs that you sit on, in the clothes that you wear? Is there credit given to the culture in which they originated? No, because if we continued to do that with every single thing that we consume, that we create, that we utilize, we would be wasting so much of our time trying to dole out credit to specific cultures. And for what? To pat them on the back because they created something? I don't know. Maybe I'm not sensitive enough for this subject matter, but this is not working for me.
So they make all the recipe, all the boba. We work really hard. We travel to Taiwan. We speak with them. They are part of our team. It's really important for us. So that's the best part. That's the cultural part of our product.
Okay, so you heard that. Mind you, Simu Liu, this investor who's talking to them, is not a Taiwanese person, although he does feel connected to Asian culture. These entrepreneurs went to a Taiwanese company. That Taiwanese company granted them access to creating boba and said, sure, we are fine with you creating this product. So you have real life Taiwanese people who are actively aiding in the process of this company being created, this product being produced and being sold to the masses, yet it's still cultural appropriation because some sort of credit has to be given directly to Taiwanese people? I don't know, make it make sense.
And for the little popping boba like that, we have a deal with Couche-Tard in Quebec. So we have 900 stores with that. And they bought like 300,000 of this to put in the slush. And it's a crazy success.
Oh yeah, that's such a good, guys, I just we see so many consumer packaged goods products. This is like mega.
I've never seen anything like it.
I am studying your can, and I am looking for anything that tells me where boba came from. And where boba came from is Taiwan. You know, I started this venture company for a lot of reasons, but really primarily to uplift minority entrepreneurs. And not only do I feel like this is not happening here, but that I would be uplifting a business that is profiting off of something that feels so dear to my cultural heritage. I want to be a part of bringing boba to the masses, but not like this. So for that reason, I'm out.
Thanks.
Respect that.
Respect that.
And luckily, they do respect that. And you know, it's totally fine. It's his money. He doesn't want to invest it in this particular company. But to utilize this platform to make some sort of moral statement and to stand on moral high ground over these people, to say that they're doing something wrong, in my opinion, is very much incorrect. He pitches this idea that they are profiting off of Taiwanese culture without giving credit to that culture. Yet he makes no mention of the fact that they are employing and working with Taiwanese people in order to create a multi-million-dollar business that they project to be worth even more just a few years down the line. How many Taiwanese people are going to have their livelihoods paid for because these two individuals saw something wonderful and decided to make a new iteration of it? Now, luckily, these entrepreneurs end up getting an investor on the show.
Hi everyone, Dragon Manjeet here. Last week's episode had a pitch from entrepreneurs about boba tea that has sparked a big conversation. After more reflection, due diligence, and listening to many of your opinions, I will not be investing in boba tea. Having said that, I had to turn off commenting on my platforms because it is never okay to send hate and death threats to the entrepreneurs. I believe wholeheartedly our cultures are meant to be shared, including food, drink, clothing, dance, languages, and weddings. Those of us like Simu and I who have platforms to do so always try to use these platforms to educate and enjoy and explore all cultures. It is cha or chai, depending on where you're from, not chai tea. It is naan, not naan bread. Sharing cultures increases understandings and brings peace on earth, something our planet could use. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving.
But of course, that can't be the last word. Simu has to say this.
It makes me sad how successful this business is. It makes me sad that people are, you know, they're drinking boba with a raccoon with a sun.
It doesn't mean that they don't have the opportunity to change and do that.
That's true, but there has to be a willingness, and I have to be able to invest in these founders knowing that, that change is possible.
They didn't say no. The collaboration that they've had to this point is with their supplier in Taiwan. And if nobody else has told them that before, you can't put that all on them.
Matter of fact, I put nothing on them. There is no sort of change that they have to implement moving forward because some guy felt offended by the fact that they are using something from a different culture. In my opinion, this is not appropriation. Cultures are meant to be shared. They're meant to travel through societies. And if you don't want your culture being shared, I guess don't share it in any way, shape, or form with other people, because this is how ideas travel and take on new forms. This is how businesses are created. This is how people build success for themselves themselves and also Taiwanese people. I cannot let that be lost in this conversation. Now, of course, on the other end of this clip going viral, this company was being blasted with all this sort of backlash, this controversy, people sending them threats. And luckily, Simu did take to the internet to say, hey guys, maybe we shouldn't threaten people, maybe we shouldn't pull out the pitchforks, although he stands by all of his original statements and says that this company does need to change moving forward as they are cultural appropriators.
I just don't want the legacy of this segment to be pitchforks and, you know, people fearing for their safety. I think we're starting to lose the plot of I think what ultimately the positive energy of this is, which is let's educate people, let's make the world a better place, let's make people aware that, you know, certain things aren't okay from a cultural perspective.
So I'm glad that he's using his time on the internet to talk to his audience, to tell them not to dogpile on people, to not threaten them, to not create an unsafe environment for them. But the fact that on the other end of it, he says that they still need to educate and learn that what they're doing is not okay is crazy. In my opinion, of course, these people did nothing wrong. And I do have some questions on the other end of this. If these entrepreneurs had appeared on the show creating this product and they happened to be Asian but not Taiwanese, and there was no credit given to the Taiwanese people on the can, would he still have the same problem as he had with these two entrepreneurs? I'm gonna go out on a strong limb here, and I'm gonna guess no. He wouldn't have a problem if some other form of Asian person or person of color was showing up with a product like this without giving due credit, because he's looking at two white individuals immediately becoming triggered by the fact that they're creating a product that he feels is near and dear to his culture, even though he himself is not Taiwanese. These criticisms are seemingly never evenly dispersed, and I'll tell you why, because it's impossible to evenly disperse these criticisms. Everything around us is created by a particular culture, and if we concerned ourselves with constantly trying to give credit to everybody all the time, we would get nothing done. And you never see these cultural appropriation conversations happen when the original culture that is being utilized isn't marginalized. So you have to be a person of color or someone that we pity or somebody that we view as downtrodden in order to even start this conversation about cultural appropriation in the first place. It's all about victimhood, this mentality of there's oppressors and there's oppressed, and these two entrepreneurs happen to fall into the oppressor category. Their big mistake was not taking a drink from another culture and failing to give that culture credit. Their big mistake was being the wrong skin color while doing it. Let's be honest. And I don't think the situation needs to be bigger than it already is. I just thought it created an interesting moment for a bit of commentary, because I see a lot of people cheering on Simu, saying he did the right thing, that he's standing up for his people, that he's educating others, and I have a very different perspective, and I wonder if anybody else feels the same. So if you do, drop your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know how you feel. As always, if you disagree with anything I said in this video, do get out in the comments down below, but do so respectfully. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a video for you guys, which is every day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye guys.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.